Managed to get him to calm down a little bit. Smooth head, standard common creek chub. About 7.5 inches. But look at the shoulders on this guy. That's a piece of beefcake. He bent the 2-weight about halfway. Greetings from Dystopia, episode 131. Let's get our feet wet. After thinking about it last night and then watching the video this morning, I decided it's time to fish that last little piece of Shadow Creek. And then I will have fished that creek from start, from the headwater, all the way up to the Fox River. So I will have then fished that entire creek. And it's been a blast. I don't know, I just love the small creeks. I know I keep saying that, but every other episode I'm getting a comment, why do you fish the small creeks? I just love them. I love the, and I went light today. So I've just got the little chest pack, one rod, no GoPro. But I did pack my Fuji? It's in my pocket. Always messes me up who makes that camera. Yeah, Fujifilm. I just dropped my rod. Yeah, the little Fujifilm. It's a waterproof camera. So if it's anything that needs a decent picture, I'll use the Fuji. Even brought a spare battery with, since I wasn't carrying the GoPro and the iPhone and everything else. I carried just the charger, you know, a little battery pack, so I can charge this thing up. Chews through the battery. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna go fish that last little bit. I had a couple questions from, well, over the last few episodes, and one of them was somebody noticed I use level line on the fixed line rods, and is that all I use? And if not, could I talk about the other lines? And also, could I show how I rig a rod for fixed line, or how I make the fixed line? Yeah, I can do a video for you tomorrow. Kids out in the woods, but they're on the other side of the creek. So yeah, I'll do that tomorrow, because I need to rig up some lines for the driftless anyways. I have further amended the rods I'm bringing to go up to the driftless this time. It's just going to be the 2-weight and 3 or 4 fixed line rods. So I'll bring, fixed line wise, I'll bring my 2 Riverworks rods. I will bring the Kiru rod, and I will probably, most likely, bring the Pro Spec. I've only used that rod on trout twice. It seems like kind of a waste that it's sitting there and not getting used, so I'll take it with me. I most likely will not sell that Pro Spec either. I mentioned that in the video, and first comment was, hey, you want to sell that rod? All right, so we're down here. Right there is where I stood yesterday and filmed, and then I walked down that way. And then I showed you this pool. So, I did forget to bring the chest strap for this camera, and I also do not have a clamp. So, I guess I'm just going to fish, and if there's something of interest, I'll pull it up. Get out of my ear, mosquito. I'm laughing today because I remembered to put on bug spray, but they're finding everywhere that I did not put bug spray. I'm going to give that hole a chance to calm down and just come down here and look a little bit. Little frog, there's that heart-shaped rock. Doesn't look like a heart from here. I see I'm going to have to change filters too. Lots of little guys in here, about 2.5 inches long. On that tree branch right over there is a frog sitting on it. So I don't want to get too close and have him jump and spook it, but yeah. So that's the idea, is I'm going to go fish that hole around the curve, and then we're going to just walk up that way and work my way up to that log jam that's around that next oxbow. And then I will have fished Shadow Creek in its entirety. Alright, so looking at this upper pool, the water is stagnant. However, it is flowing down through the rocks right there, but not fast enough that it's not stagnating. But again, I do see some fish in there, so I'm going to run a few casts. I'm going to start up along this point up here by this mud bank and just fish around it. And if I don't dredge anything out from there, I'm just going to move on. Well, there you go, first cast. That's a big boy. 7.5 inches. Alright, let me get this hook out of him. Alright, so I put him back. I kind of felt like there would be a few hiding in here. I didn't think they would be that big, but let me go make another round. Note to self, never forget a mount for a camera. I just caught a little, about a 4-inch smallmouth, but as I was trying to get the camera out of my pocket, he wriggled out of my hand because I don't put a death grip on fish and went right back in the water. So let me go back and see if I can catch another one. So never overlook pools like this. I'm trying to hold them still for a second so I can get some recording of them. The beautiful little largemouth here. Unfortunately, I only have one hand available. Beautiful guy. So, as I said, never overlook those little ponds, little pools. I will not fish them if they're completely overgrown with algae, but that one was mildly stagnant, but not bad. Kind of lost count there. I think 6 chubs. The biggest was that one I caught there on camera. 3 smallmouth, 3 to 4 inches. 2 largemouth, and another one I couldn't quite see him. He got off, came on button before he got to the surface. But so now I'm gonna work my way through this pool and start heading up over the rocks, back over there. I wonder if these footprints are the older gentleman I ran into out here a couple weeks ago. He was also fishing with a 1 weight, but yeah, so now pulled out a couple. You know what, just for the hell of it, I'm just going to drop in, no line. Let's just drop in and see what we can get. Just caught a couple chubs in here, both about 6. See if we can get us another one in here. Oh, had a bump. Saw him then a little bit, looked like a little small sunfish, so I'm trying to coax him up to the surface here. Got mosquitoes in my face. There we go. Oh, we got off. Okay, so I waded up the rock pile, and there's not much. However, in that next pool, there is a fair bit of activity. Obviously, I didn't get any bug spray on that part of my calf. Dude, get off of me. Deer fly. Alright, yeah, there's a bit of activity here. That one's a little tightly overgrown. Might be bow and arrow casts, but I'll see what I can come up with. Hopefully this guy doesn't get away, but this is a beautiful little largemouth. Oh, come here. Let me get him back in the water. Alright, so this is that 4th pool. It's been predominantly sunfish, chubs, and now that little largemouth. But yeah, it's another good little pool. A lot of activity up there in that shallow, up there towards the top of the picture. But I got to figure out how to get around to it. I don't want to wade in this pool because it is full of fish. Might be able to go through there, but I know that that's clay. The whole east bank of this creek right here is clay, and it's very, very soft. So I guess I'm going to go up and around through the woods somehow and see if I can get right over there on the bank above that hole. Okay, so I fished the pool on the other side of the tree right here that's down. One chub, about 4 inches long. I'm going to fish this pool right here, and then maybe that one, and then I'm going to find my way out of here. I need long pants in here, like my zip-offs or something. These little weeds you see right here, I don't know what that is, but it stings like a nettle. I don't know if you can see how red that is, how pink that is right here. But yeah, it's like a Brennnessel, like the stinging nettles in Germany. It's bad. Just walked through there and my legs are on fire. So this is going to be a trip because that weed is everywhere I look. So this is going to be a trip back out with long pants. But yeah, so I'll fish that hole and this one and then we're done. Okay, so my ears are getting chewed up by mosquitoes because I didn't put any spray on them. So the top hole there, I got 8 chubs, largest about 7.5 inches. I think I got him on video. I'm going to fish this one. I was closer than I thought. The log jam is right through there. So I've got 100 feet. And now, I will have completed the creek. But that other spot back over here, so this is another oxbow. That other part over there, yeah, I'm coming back to hit that one. Oh, I was going to get a video of this weed. Maybe one of you guys can identify this thing. I'm walking back through the mud again. This bank is a mix of high clay and sand, and it's just like, ugh. Right. So, get out of my ear. This is that weed. All of the branches have fine little stickers on them, about like hair. All right, visually I'm not seeing anything in this pool other than water striders. But I'm suspect of this boulder right here. There's a nice dark channel right in front of it. So I'm going to go back down there and cast up along that boulder. And that's another thing. Will I be kicked out of all of the fly fishing clubs if I say that I'm beginning to appreciate chubs as much or more than trout? I've never seen chubs. I've fished for chubs, believe me, a long time. I've never seen chubs as aggressive as they are in this creek. I mean, they're coming completely out of the water, today anyway, to try and feed. I watched one take a water strider in that other hole, and it came up, grabbed the strider, came complete out, and did a backflip and went right back in the water. Well, that's it. End of the mission. I have now fished this entire creek from its headwater all the way to the river. I want to say confluence, but confluence is rivers. Yeah, here's more of this weed. Not sure if that's some kind of an insect nest. I do not know this weed, but it is annoying. I'm going to walk over here and just look at this pool on the other side of the log jam. I know I've fished it and I caught couple little bitty sunfish. I had a size 18 fly on that day. Today I'm fishing a size 16 Pass Lake. This is a pretty decent pattern. Yeah, see, all those sunfish are down in the shade line down there. I see lots of raccoon tracks in the mud. Kind of sad. Kind of sad that I finished this whole section now. Sorry, I got to move the camera here because I need my hand. But I did learn today that, yeah, as much as I wanted to go light, it would be better to err on the side of carrying the GoPro over this. You get crappier audio, probably not quite as good video, but I can leave it run all the time. This thing, because it's a gimbal and I'm trying to protect it, you know, I film, I put it away, I get it back out, I film, I put it away, and it's getting to be a pain. I tried to leave it in this outer pocket right here, facing, you know, forward, to see if that would work. But I'm getting chewed up by mosquitoes. But the gimbal touches the bag and immediately stops functioning. So, didn't work. According to the GPS, the trail is right up here, and I know I've shot video from up there before, so I don't have far to go. But I have to climb over that mess and work my way up that hill. You can see how much the banks are getting eroded away here. That's funny. Oops. Shadow Creek has yielded upwards of 200 fish. Probably 80% creek chub. Yeah, 80% creek chub, 10% sunfish, both green and the bluegill type sunfish. Some smallmouth, some largemouth, all little bitty guys. The biggest largemouth I think was maybe 8 inches. But yeah. Well, that's one project done. I'll find another creek tomorrow, I guess, and start looking at that. And then next week, obviously, the driftlet. So let me get back up here on the trail, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. You know, I've fished plenty of creeks, and that used to be my thing. Was an ultralight spinning rod, little like a 1/16 or 1/32 jig of some type, or a rooster tail. Some of you guys don't know what I'm talking about. And that was my thing for the longest time. And I've fished plenty of creeks from start to finish. It's just something about this one that, yeah, that actually feels like final, like it's over. That's pretty funny. I mean, I know I'll come back and I'm going to fish that section again because I had pretty good luck in there. Particularly given the size of chubs that I was catching. That tells me there's going to be some big ones in there too. I'm still after that 10 to 11 this year. So 10 to 11 inch creek chub. So yeah, I put that in there because I know somebody's going to joke. But yeah, that's like, aww. Oh man. I just noticed it was bright, which means I lost a filter. Sunny Beach. Not in the case, so I definitely lost that one on the creek. Oh well. Anyway, there's no chance I'll ever find that thing out there. Especially if it fell into the water somewhere. The creek got its payment. Alright, I'm back in the van. I'm going to eat my lunch and let this charge, and I'll talk to you guys on the way back. Alright, that was a good day. That was, or is, a sense of accomplishment. It's not often in Illinois you can fish a creek from start to finish. Save about 100 feet, which I did fish. Railroad easement, but I fished it anyways. Just walked through it, under the bridge, and out. Looked like a couple neighbors arguing back there. Anyway, the older gentleman that fishes the creek, I don't know if I mentioned his name earlier or not. It's Cliff. Cliff, good on you, bud, for fishing that creek. That's got some really tough spots. Climbing over trees or under them, that's a tough creek to fish, but it's a lot of fun. I do have to laugh when we finally introduced ourselves, and it was like, oh, you're the guy that's been following me, or I'm following you some days. And so we talked for a couple minutes, and instead of shaking hands, which obviously with COVID you don't want to do right now, some people bump elbows. Cliff was just like, held it out, and he said, let's cross swords. So the fly rods got held out and touched, so I had to laugh at that one. But yeah, thanks for the tip, Cliff. He gave me another park that has a creek start to finish, also tributary of the Fox River. So I got another place to start on in a couple weeks. Next week is the Driftless. Can't wait. Just as a reminder, when I'm up there, there'll only be a very short episode each day, 5-10 minutes tops. And then the whole flotilla of kayaks coming down the river. But yeah, and then that following week, so not this week, this coming week, but the next week, I'll release a longer video. I don't know if I'll do it as one video and take a couple days off of daily recording, or if I'll just release it as its own long form video and then continue to do the small dailies. We'll see how I feel, because that's a lot of editing. But yeah, so we'll figure that out. But yeah, then after that, hopefully I'll be back on the creeks, or maybe a pond or two. We'll see. But yeah, I'm definitely going to check out that other creek. That, I know I said it, but that start to finish, the entirety of a creek is, yeah, that's pretty damn cool. And again, it's hard to do in Illinois. So yeah, that's the deal for today. Let me go back and get this edited and get it up there. Yikes. Slow views on the last couple videos, but yeah, I understand. I hit you guys with an hour of video in one day, or close to an hour in one day, and that's, yeah, I get it. Wasn't intending to do that, but I had so much material, it was like, all right, just get it out there. And some of those Q&A things had been on the plate for a while, so yeah. That's it for today, guys. Be good, be well. See you guys tomorrow.